In today's episode, I would like to introduce you to the tragic events that took place in the High Wycombe, England, in 2016. High Wycombe is a medium-sized town in the south of England with a population of about 80,000 people. Among the town's residents are a sizable group of immigrants from Eastern Europe as well as from Arab countries. One such person was the teenage Zofia Sadowska, who came to the United Kingdom together with her boyfriend Kamil. Zofia and Kamil met in Warsaw, shortly before they decided to go abroad. They chose High Wycombe because Kamil had a good friend there. Once they found themselves in an English town, they were trying to find jobs, and soon Zofia, in addition to learning English, was busy handing out flyers. Her boyfriend, on the other hand, started working at a car wash. In a short time, Zofia became pregnant, and in May 2013 the couple's son was born. Zofia hid the pregnancy from her family. Her mother, who lived in Germany, found out about the grandchild when the baby was already born. Zofia, like most people her age, was very keen on partying. The fact that she became a mother changed nothing in her approach to life. She often partied, and was a regular at the Yates Club, which she went to several times a week. She also did not shy away from alcohol. Kamil and Zofia raised their son together, but over time something began to fail in their relationship. Before leaving Poland, they knew each other for a fairly short time, and over time it became clear that they didn't have much in common. In 2016, Sadowska became involved with a Pakistani native 8 years older than herself, Ahsan Hassan, known by his friends as Ali. She continued to live with the father of her child, but met regularly with 28-year-old Ali. Often as several times a week, she went out with him to the Yates Club, but the couple hid their relationship, as Zofia insisted. Hassan's friend, 40-year-old Usner Ansar, was of great help to the couple in keeping their affair a secret. He was a kind of middleman who passed messages to the lovers. Hassan became very involved in his relationship with the beautiful Polish woman, all the time hoping that the woman would leave her partner and move in with him. He even told his friends about it, but months passed and Zofia continued to live with the father of her child. Then Hassan's behavior towards Zofia changed. His requests became more forceful. He more strongly urged the woman to change her behavior, limiting partying, as well as limiting the amount of alcohol she consumed. Reportedly, the man was not bothered by the mere fact that Zofia was consuming alcohol, but was concerned that she might be harming her health by doing so. Ahsan came to the UK in 2011, fleeing from Pakistan. His family in Pakistan tried to force him to marry his cousin. When he refused to marry, the family started treating him very badly. The man couldn't stand it and decided to move to the UK. At first he settled in London, where he learned English. And then he moved to High Wycombe, where his friend, the previously mentioned Usmer Ansar, lived. While he was still living in London, he met a woman named Victoria, whom he married in 2014. Unfortunately, the woman was unable to keep her fidelity to him and became pregnant by another man. The couple then separated, but did not divorce. Which meant that when Ahsan was in a relationship with Zofia, he was still married. Ali became very possessive in the relationship, which did not please Zofia, who more than anything liked to have fun. And she had no desire to have someone put restrictions on her and tell her what to do and what not to do. After a few months of knowing each other, 20-year-old Zofia decided to end the relationship. It was a situation that Ali could not handle. Zofia was everything to him, and the man could not accept rejection. He began to harass her with phone calls and text messages. Unfortunately, these were not nice messages. Zofia began to fear for both herself and Ali, as she suspected that the man might hurt himself, or even kill himself. He acted like a madman, so anything could be expected of him. In one of Ali's messages, he wrote Zofia that she had only two options, either always be with him or die. The woman wanted nothing to do with him until his behavior changed. Zofia's friend Anna was also horrified by the behavior of the 28-year-old, who told her during a conversation they had together that she only knows him from the good side. But she has no idea what his bad side might be, and can't even imagine what he might be capable of. All this did not put Ali in a good light. Ali was obsessed with Zofia to the point that he went even further and started following her. He wanted to know with whom and where she was meeting. On September 6, 2016, Zofia went to cinema together with Kamil's friend, Albanian Petri Suci. They were not a couple, however. It was quite common for them to go out together in the evening. The man later testified that he was a bit frightened by the amount of alcohol Zofia consumed. He reportedly brought it to her attention, asking her to stop drinking at least for the sake of her son. After the movie was over, Zofia and Petri went to the Eights Club, where they spent several hours sipping drinks and dancing. In this club they met Ali, with whom Zofia chatted for a short while. When she and her companion left the premises, Ali began following the couple. On CCTV footage, he could be seen hiding behind metal trash cans, watching Zofia and Petri sitting on a bench. Neither of them realized they were being watched. Ali couldn't handle the fact that instead of being with him, Zofia was ostentatiously showing off with other men. He cared about her very much. He was able to do anything to make her come back to him. This was not the only time Ali followed his ex-girlfriend. A few days later, still unable to come to terms with the idea that Zofia no longer wants to meet with him. Once again, he decides to find out what Zofia is doing in the evening. This time, following Sadowska, he ended up in front of the Crown Plaza Hotel, where he saw his beloved entering the hotel with a man. But Ali knew that man. It was Uzmer, his best friend, with whom he shared an apartment. The man who had helped the couple hide their affair from Kamil. This was already too much for him. This was the worst insult of all. The woman he loved had hooked up with his best friend. Ali knew that he had to get revenge somehow. A plan was then born in his mind, which he put into action rather quickly. A few days later, on September 18, 2016, Ali lured Zofia to a kebab bar where he once worked. The bar was closed at the time, as the bar's owner was negotiating a new lease agreement with the landlord. But Ali still had the keys to the premises, which he just decided to use. He had the whole situation planned down to the smallest detail. He took advantage of the woman's weakness for partying. He concocted a fictitious party to which Zofia was invited. The couple was to meet at the dentist bar, from which Hassan's good friend Rob was to pick them up. Rob, of course, did not exist. He was invented for the situation. Ali had specifically bought a new SIM card, the number of which he stored in his phone as Rob's best buddy. If by any chance Zofia had any doubts, he could always show her previously sent messages from the non-existent Rob. To lend credibility to the party, he also invited other mutual friends to attend. One person even expressed a desire to attend this party, and she sent Ali her address so he could pick her up. Of course, Hassan did not show up that evening at that address. Zofia's 21st birthday was due in a week, and Zofia expected to attend a special event that day. She could not have suspected how wrong she was. When Zofia arrived at the premises, around 11:30 p.m., Hassan was already there waiting for her. The man attacked her, tying her up with a curtain brought from home earlier. He threw cling film over her face and began strangling her. More than 2 hours later, around 2 a.m., he took her unconscious, and possibly even already dead, to a cab he had ordered earlier. He had to carry her lifeless body to the car and situate her inside the vehicle. He explained Zofia's condition to the cab driver by saying that the woman had consumed too much alcohol and had fallen asleep. After returning home, Ali continued to strangle Zofia, although she was most likely dead by then. On September 19, 2016, a few minutes after 5 a.m., police received a report of a suicide attempt. Upon arrival at the indicated address on Dashwood Avenue, officers saw Hassan sitting in a pool of blood, still attempting to cut himself in the wrist area. Next to him lay Zofia, who could no longer be helped. She was dead. Ali tried to convince the policeman that together they were trying to commit suicide out of love, but he unfortunately did not succeed. However, it was clear at first glance that this was not true. Numerous bruises were visible on the woman's body, indicating that she had struggled before her death, and abrasions could be seen on her wrists and ankles. Ali was detained as a murder suspect. Investigators, in the course of the ongoing investigation, established quite quickly how things really were between Zofia and Ali. CCTV footage and testimony from her friends revealed a picture of a possessive man, who couldn't cope with jealousy, and couldn't accept the leaving of his loved one. In his obsession, he didn't want to let her go or allow her to get involved with someone else. If he couldn't be with her, no one else would. An expert pathologist, after conducting an autopsy, concluded that Zofia died of asphyxiation. She fought for her life until she lost consciousness. There were no traces of alcohol in her system. Numerous bruises were found on her body, which may have been the result of being held firmly, as well as abrasions on her wrists and ankles, which could have been marks from being tied up. The victim also had red marks around her neck that matched the circles from her chain found near Hassan's home. Hassan was charged with Zofia's murder, while his friend, Uzmer Asner, was charged with giving false testimony. Asner protected his friend because he felt guilty for associating with Zofia behind his back. He also assisted his friend in covering his tracks. Ali did not admit to committing the murder, constantly changing his testimony, which caused delays in the investigation. He only admitted to manslaughter, which was the result of a previous agreement between him and Zofia. The trial began in March 2017. The defense insisted all along that the couple had attempted suicide. Unfortunately, the evidence gathered pointed to a different course of events. At the dentist bar where Ali met Zofia that night, cling film was found in a trash can, and brown duct tape, which showed traces of Zofia's saliva and her hair. A curtain from Hassan's home was also found there, which was used to restrain Zofia. Investigators also recovered footage from a camera near Bar Dennis, which shows Hassan carrying Zofia to an ordered cab. The trial lasted 5 weeks, and on April 6, 2017, after 5 hours of deliberations, the jury unanimously found Hassan guilty of the murder of Zofia Sadowska. 4 days later the verdict was announced, sentencing the man to life imprisonment, with the possibility of early release, not earlier than after 24 years. His friend Uzmer Asner was cleared of obstructing the investigation, and was therefore not convicted. This is the end of the story. Thank you for listening to it until the end. Goodbye.